The Canadian dollar has fallen to its lowest level against the US dollar in almost 6 years. It's still not as low as the record set in 2002 when it hit 61.79 cents US. But could 2015 see the loonie hit a new record low?
All the signs are signaling the Canadian dollar still has further to fall.
I would say maybe it depends on if the circumstance warranted it.
Well, we have an end-of-year forecast of 75 cents, but currencies have a terrible way of overshooting any forecast.
I would say probably 75, but there's still a lot of risk on both the upside and the downside.
This time for the Canadian dollar is very different than where we sat in the period really at the end of the 1990s as well as the very early 2000s. So I don't think we're at risk is going down to a 60-cent Canadian dollar.
Oil prices were about $25 a barrel at the time. It could happen. You need the perfect circumstance to drive you there. One of them will be commodity prices need to continue to fall.
The US dollar is rallying. It's really moving dramatically higher because of the expectation for the Fed to begin hiking, but also because the economic backdrop there is strong. The flip side for Canada is that oil prices are low and vulnerable to potentially even moving lower. We have a domestic backdrop that's fairly weak, and we have global sentiment that's really working against the Canadian dollar and in favor of the US.
The big key is how much the US dollar starts to appreciate and how much you get to see the divergence between the Canadian monetary policy and the US monetary policy. So you have the weaker currency that is helping the export sector. That will help to mitigate the negative impact from lower commodity prices. But again, it's mainly mitigate the negative. It's not enough to compensate fully.
The real outlook for Canada right now over the medium term is fairly good, but the midst we're in right now is one where our economy is rebalancing away from this oil-focused economy to a more evenly balanced between oil and manufacturing.